win against the Bills. Brian Flores said he was open to a two-quarterback system earlier this week, but NFL Network reported Ryan Fitzpatrick will miss Sunday's game after testing positive for COVID. Before this big news broke, Tua said, quote, "There's really no extra added pressure." Bucky is back with us, but Acho, should Tua feel added pressure this weekend?
Yes, he should. Yes, he should. Yes, gentlemen and ladies watching this show, he absolutely should. 3 types of pressure, if you will. And let's look at it. Let's talk about this pressure cooker that Tua is sitting in, because I'm going to break this down for y'all in a very digestible way, kind of like Lunchables. You know how digestible those were? Personal, I love Lunchables.
I love them too.
The 3 types of pressure you got to look at if you're Tua. You got personal pressure. You have present pressure. You have future pressure. You have personal pressure. Everything is on you at this junction in time. Fitzpatrick is not coming to save the day. What are you going to do? Tua, that's a lot of pressure. Then you got the present pressure. The Dolphins, their playoff hopes are contingent upon your success and this team's success. The present, that is here, that is now, that is on Sunday. What's going down? What's going to happen? Oh, but the one you're most worried about, that's that future pressure. Tua, who are you? First-round pick, number 5 overall. You're supposed to be that dude, but wait a second. To the outside world, not to me, but to the outside world, you haven't looked like that dude. Comparison, it is the thief of joy. You have been compared to Joe Burrow. You've been compared to Joey B. He threw for, what was it, 400 yards this season? You've been compared to Justin Herbert, who was selected after you. He just set a rookie passing touchdown record. And here you are, Tua. You've been benched or pulled 2 times in your 8 starts by Ryan Fitzpatrick, a quarterback who, with a minimum of 100 starts, has the worst winning percentage since he entered into the NFL. So, should Tua feel added pressure? He absolutely should feel added pressure because there is added pressure. Now, I'm not going to say he's going to underperform because of the pressure, but you best believe that he needs to understand and acknowledge it's a lot of pressure right here, right on the stage.
Oh, I disagree with you, big dog. I agree with Tua. I agree with his own take on his own feelings, his own behavior. What is the greatest indicator of future behavior? Emmanuel Acho, you know what it is. Past behavior.
That's absolutely right.
Here's a story of a lovely prospect.
You off beat already, bro.
I can't go everywhere. We're going to get sued. I can't go all the way. You know that, right? All right, let me stop. Here's a guy who was a teenager who won a national championship game without even starting in the game, came into it in the second half. And I want to remind you, Acho, I want to remind our viewers that that same teenager that won a national championship by only playing 1 half hadn't played a game or threw a football in 2 months. But they were still playing games. Oh, yeah, they had the semifinal game and all that. But did Tua play any of that? Nope. Sitting there just rotting away. And then coach finally said, hey, come on, Tua. Come on here and win the day. Go out here and win us a national championship. Be our hero. Be our savior. And he did just that. And now you're going to get me into a situation at the pro level, and you're going to say he doesn't have the moxie, the mental makeup to go out there and do it again in a do-or-die situation? Now, what he's saying is, I don't feel any extra added pressure. I believe him. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to go out there and play perfect. That doesn't mean he's going to go out there and win the day. Doesn't mean he's going to win the game and they're going to advance into the playoffs. But what the question is, the conversation about him feeling extra pressure, he's been in a more pressure cooker situation than this before, and he survived it. And not only survived, but thrived in it. I think he's going to do the same this time.
I agree with you, Marcellus. There's no added pressure in this moment. Tua Tagovailoa is fine. I don't understand what all the little backup things, like putting Ryan Fitzpatrick in and doing all that other stuff. Maybe Brian Flores has felt for the sob story when Ryan Fitzpatrick lost his job. But now we don't have that. And so Tua has an opportunity to do what I would expect him to do, and that is to lead the Miami Dolphins into the playoffs. And so I think it is great that, Emmanuel, you mentioned Joe Burrow throwing for 400 yards in a game, and Justin Herbert setting all these rookie records. But you know what both of those guys are going to be doing? They're going to be ATC at the crib when the postseason starts because they haven't elevated their teams. And so when I look at Tua, I kind of find all of this laughable that we're talking about him and how good is he going to be? 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Best touchdown to interception ratio by a rookie since Dak Prescott. He's won over 75% of his games. He has an interception percentage of 0.9. The only guys who have had that kind of mark, there are three of them: Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. That's it. Those are the only guys who have been able to pull off those kinds of things. So while we're fretting over if Tua is good enough, he's certainly good enough. I'm just glad now that Ryan Fitzpatrick isn't around, so Tua can play this full game without interruption. He will play well. He will lead the Dolphins into the postseason.
Gentlemen, I'm not debating whether or not Tua will play well. I fervently believe Tua can and will play well. The question at hand, fellas, which we all must acknowledge, is pressure makes diamonds, but pressure also burst pipes. So I'm not going to sit here and say that Tua will play poorly, but fellas, let's not be so ignorant to the reality of the situation. We can sit here and act like we're not in the middle of a pandemic. Doesn't mean we're not. We can sit here and act like certain things don't exist, but they still do. So y'all can act like, oh, there's no more pressure, Tua. Just go out there and do what you always done. This ain't always. Biggest game of his career, if we're being real, on just about any stage. Now, you can equate a national championship game to an NFL game, if you will, to an NFL game that can qualify you for the playoffs, if you will, but you could definitely argue biggest game of his career. Here's where I'm going to go with this, because, Bucky, again, you weren't here on the last segment, but I'm not going to apologize for giving track references, because that's what y'all going to get on this show.
Me
track
too.
References. Can I get a 3-box? I want to look at my dogs. Fellas, when you are running a 400-meter race, Marcellus Wiley is a state champ.
No, don't do that. Oh. National record holder and national champion. Put some respect on my name. You're a best-selling author. I ain't going to say you just sold a couple on Crenshaw. You know, I'm going to give you your respect. You better put my name up there where it's supposed to be. Rafters.
Respect, big dog. Respect. Yeah. My dog Marcellus Wiley is a record holder in the 400 meters. Bucky, I'm sure you've run a couple fours in your day. All y'all need to know, America, 400 meters, one time around the track, one lap. Now, what we know about this race is hearing footsteps is one thing. It's one thing. But as soon as those footsteps that you heard pass you, Bucky, as soon as those footsteps that you heard pass you, Marcellus, all of a sudden the running form goes like this.
Never happened.
To like this. All of a sudden that head which is here, start going here with it. You completely break down because those footsteps, they pass you and you like, uh-oh, here's what I'm saying. Tua's hearing internal footsteps from Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I like it.
He's hearing internal. Then he's hearing external footsteps from Justin Herbert. And the issue at hand is, just like in track, when you good until those footsteps start to pass you, Tua is in a position with pressure. Justin Herbert, the pick that was after him, is starting to outperform him, or has outperformed him. And Ryan Fitzpatrick has come in relief and outperformed him. So all I'm saying is, fellas, y'all know in track how it goes. Don't act like Tua's immune.
I see, Emmanuel Acho, you must not have run at a high level. Because you're hearing too many things and you're seeing too many things on the track. When you're in the lane, you're just running your own race. You're running your own race. And if they come and get me, they're going to have to come and get me at a record time. And so for Tua Tagovailoa, I think this is what this opportunity does. It gives him an opportunity to let everyone know how special he is. And so when you talk about pressure, yeah, and I don't think that's necessarily pressure. Is there a little stress? Yes, because the game is big. But he's prepared.
Bucky, you caving.
He's prepared. Like, you understand those big moments. He's prepared for the moment. He has done this. I am ready to see him do it. And because everyone is talking about Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow and those guys who are basically leading losing teams, I think this is an opportunity for him to tell everybody, look, they took me 5th. I am the guy. I am the franchise quarterback. My team is winning. I don't have to do too much. I just take care of the ball, and we chalk up these dubs. Come look at me. You'll see me again in January.
I respect it.
Oh, my God, that was beautiful. Acho, that touched me. That touched me. No, I haven't been there, actually. I'm going to tell you why I haven't been there. But I never loved something that was so wrong in my life other than that take you just gave about track and field. You told on your entire track career by the fact that you couldn't stay focused in your lane.
I've watched. I never ran a 4. So I just watched.
Dog, I'm not lying. I really ran the 4. Now, I got big, fat, slow, everything changed. I became a football player, but I used to run the 4. And I respect the hell out of my coach, Coach James Robertson. And I remember I was like 9, 10 years old. And he walked up to me and he told me 2 words that I'd never heard before.
What did he say? What did he tell you?
But changed my life. He said, Marcellus, before a race, never get psyched out. And psyched out in track means if you're listening to others, you're listening to the crowd, you're looking and peeking who's in your lane. Oh, that's the guy who set the record last week. I got to race him now. Oh, here comes Usain. But whatever it is, as soon as it enters your dome, it will affect your performance. And here's the thing. It's not about that it comes in. It's that you got to get it out. So, Acho, you told on yourself in that situation. Respect Coach James thank you for changing my life. Here's the thing. Y'all keep talking about Justin Herbert, my guy, LA Chargers, and Joe Burrow, who was on a pace to win the Rookie of the Year before injury. I want to show you a full